Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for joining in our information system today. My name is Mohammed Riyad. I'm the program manager for the EnvironMentors program. So I would like our director, Dr. Gregory Jenkins, to say something to us first, and then we'll move forward. Dr. Greg.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you here. Glad you're interested in this program. I'm just going to let you kind of take you backwards and say we started this program in 2017-18. The idea was twofold. First, it was to work with to encourage high school students to think about careers in STEM. And we were focused on students from low income and underrepresented students. That's how we came out the gate. We have 3 campuses involved, three areas that we're looking at: the State College High area, the Sharon area, and then the Harrisburg area. So we focused on high schools in those regions. And then the second part of it was the college students. They've played a very active role, important role in mentoring the high school students. And also we have aimed to create a sense of community where our undergrads not only mentor the high school students, but they work as a team and they get a chance to work with faculty members. So helping to design a research project. The research project is not like a high school rocket project, it's actually a research project. So we hope that this year you'll be engaged with EnvironMentors. We also have another smaller program, EnvironMentors, which really is focused on the College of Earth and Mineral Sciences, the so-called geopath majors, and includes material sciences and very closely related disciplines if you're on a Commonwealth campus. So that's all I have to say. We'll see you in the trenches, and we look forward to your participation this year. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Greg, for your nice words. So I will now, Lorraine Jones, my colleague, if you would like to introduce yourself and also give us some overview about the program, that would be great. Lorraine.
I'm doing all this talking and my microphone is off.
Yeah. So,
Good
yeah.
morning, everybody. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to see so many people are able to be here with all of the class schedule and everything. So thank you so much for coming. Just want to give you a quick overview of the program of what we're going to be talking about today. So first, we're going to start off with a little icebreaker, and then we'll go over the EnvironMentors mission and the Penn State's vision. And I'll introduce you to our team members, our program model, best practices and expectations. I'll go over a little bit of compliance, and then we'll go over the academic year timeline and previous projects and how to apply for those that have not already done so. So because we have such a big crowd, I'm going to ask people if they can put a little bit about themselves in the chat box, and I'll grab a couple of out of the chat box to introduce different people. So if you can just put in the chat box your name, your college, your major, your year, where you're from, and just fill in the blank. Icebreaker. I admire people who blank, I could never. For me, it's I admire people who can sing on stage with like 1 million people watching them. I could never do that. So whatever your thing is that you admire about people, just share with us in the chat box. And Mohammed, maybe you can pull a couple of them out of the chat box for us and read them.
I see one Jaria Hill. If you please introduce yourself and give us, which your major and where you're from.
Sorry, that was an accident. I meant to type everything in, but my name is Zaria Hill. I'm in the College of Earth and Mineral Science, an Earth Science and Policy major, second year. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, and I admire people who can speak publicly.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. And I see Semilur Babawale. If you please introduce yourself and also tell something about yourself to us, please. Semilur, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm just making a noisy environment because I just finished the first class. But my name is Shemilore Babali, and I'm an international student from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm currently a senior majoring in biology. And I admire people who really understand physics because I could never.
Thank
Per-
you.
Perfect. Yeah, and then the next person I can see, Myra. Please introduce yourself to us.
Hi, everyone. My name is Myra. I'm in the Health and Human Development program. I'm a second year graduate student. I was born in Colorado, but raised in Texas. So I kind of claim both since my family is in Colorado. I admire people who can be role models for adolescents.
Perfect.
But you think can you be a role model for others?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Maria, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, my name is Mariah. I guess I'm in the College of Everly. I didn't really know what that meant, but I'm a biology major. I'm a senior and I'm from Maryland. And I admire people who can jump out of planes because, child, I could never in 1.5 million years.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank
Hey,
you.
good morning, Sarah. Would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. My name is Sarah Sutter. I am in the College of Earth and Mineral Sciences, and I am a junior. I actually just switched from material science to just earth science, and then I kept my sustainability minor. I'm from Latrobe, Pennsylvania, if anybody knows where that is, like
Yeah.
Arnold Palmer, Fred Rogers type thing. And then I admire people who can wake up early in the morning and like be a contributing member to society, because no matter how hard I try or how early I go to bed, I cannot do it. It takes me like a 2-hour buffer period to wake up.
I feel you. Yes, maybe 1 or 2 more, Mohammed.
Yeah, Familia, am I pronouncing your name correctly? If you please introduce yourself and also correct me
Yeah.
if I'm pronouncing it properly or not.
No, you got it right, which is really cool. So Claire, you see, my first name is Ejivetti. I go by my middle name, Vermelia. I go to Penn State. I'm studying aerospace engineering. I'm in my second year. So I've grown up in like Baltimore County, Maryland, but I was born in Benin, which is next to Nigeria. Most people don't know where it is. And I really admire people who are like extroverts, not like extroverts, but like can really, really engage a group of strangers, because I think it's an amazing skill that I am not good at.
Perfect.
Thank you for sharing.
Maybe one more. Myra, again, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Please introduce yourself as well.
My name is Amira. My college is HHD, Health and Human Development. I'm a kinesiology major, movement science option, and I'm a senior. I'm from Philly, and I admire people who can do their own hair because it's a much cheaper option, but I just can't do it.
Oh, yes, I feel you from Philly. I'm from Chicago. I feel you. Oh, those were lovely. Thank you so much. So thank you for sharing that. So we're gonna go to let me see here. Okay, so I want to tell you a little bit about the EnvironMentors. EnvironMentors is a national science and education access program. It was created in 1992 and it is managed by the Global Council for Environmental Science. And the mission of GCSE is to mentor, provide college access, hands-on research experience, and for those skills to be acquired so they can allow students to build careers and become a better steward of their community and environment. And when we talk about becoming better stewards, we're also talking about being better stewards to the well-being and health of people within our world. So Penn State EnvironMentors joined in 2018 GCSE, and part of what they wanted to do was Penn State wants to be able to provide a global leader in changing the narrative of underrepresented students. And one of the things that we want to do is we have a campus in Harrisburg as well as Shenango. But our goal is to expand that and have a branch of EnvironMentors at every campus, every branch campus, Penn State's branch campuses. So this is our team, and I'm gonna allow them to introduce themselves a little bit. We'll start, Greg did a little introduction about himself. And then Dr. Raid, if you wanna introduce yourself, and Kathy, Dr. Schaefer's here, and Mitch, and then you guys can jump in and introduce yourself. And for fun, can you tell us something that you admire people who and what you could never do?
Hey guys, so my name is Mohammed Riyad. As I mentioned earlier, I'm the program specialist and program manager for EnvironMentors program. My background is I did my bachelor in theoretical mathematics and also physics. Unfortunately, I finished med school, so I'm a doctor as well, but I don't practice because I had to do that for my parents. That's a long story. Hopefully at some point I'll share that. So now by practice, I'm a human programmer, even though yeah, you know, I can be a mathematician as well. So yeah, that's another long story. Hopefully that also I will share at some point. Who I admire who can love, and then you know, really you know, give the society their you know, full support, because sometimes I feel like, you know, I can't do enough that the society needs from me. So I really admire those people who are out there doing great things. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Raid. Is Dr. Schaefer on?
Yeah, I'm here. I got out of class. So I'm Dr. Schaefer, and I'm at the Penn State Shenango campus. So we're just down the road, down I-80, west of University Park. Oh, about, you know, we're from Pennsylvania, we measure distance and time, so maybe about 2.5 hours away. So I'm the campus coordinator for the EnvironMentors program, and also that GeoPath program that Dr. Jenkins mentioned. So I admire people that are, I don't know, maybe in awe of people who are fluent in another language. I think that's something my brain just doesn't work that way. And I wish that I could acquire another language. And I could never cave dive. So I'm terribly claustrophobic, and I found scuba diving didn't work out very well, and neither does going in a cave. So doing cave diving would definitely not work out. So nice to meet everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Schaefer.
Yes, sure. Hi, my name is Mitch Spear. I'm the campus coordinator from the Harrisburg campus. Been involved with I guess 4 out of the 5 years that Penn State's been involved with the EnvironMentors. I could never play a musical instrument. And I admire people that get involved in helping others.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mitch.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want to tell you a little bit about our program model. So our EnvironMentors model, we use what we call a closed triad. That means that we have a faculty as well as an undergraduate or graduate and a high school students. And within that triad, they all communicate with one another, and they also have separate relationships as well with one another. And so that's the model that we use to mentor our students. And so part of what we do in terms of our model, in terms of things we do, we use some of the best practices in terms of what the literature talks about, what works for the students. And it's important for underrepresented students to have role models, someone that they can relate and identify with. And so if they have role models, they're easily to be able to merge their STEM identity with other identities that they have in order to be able to feel a sense of belonging within the STEM field. And once they have that sense of belonging, part of that is building and having a community, a STEM community, helps to retain students in the STEM fields. And with that having that community really builds the students' confidence. And when students feel confident, they're able to reach out for support when they're facing microaggressions and going through different things on a all-white campus. And so when they have that type of support, then we're starting to see that they're able to build those research skills and do and excel in those STEM fields. And so as a mentor, some of the expectations that we would have for you to be a mentor, we ask that you serve as a role model. As I stated before, those things are very important, especially when we want them to have a strong, healthy STEM identity. We want you to be able to foster a thriving relationship and network a STEM community for your mentees. And again, that works to build their confidence and belonging for especially underrepresented students. When you're working in a lab, making sure that you ensure that the safety, you're working in a safe research environment for all the team members. And we're just asking we would love for you to stay more than 1 year, but we ask for you to commit to at least one academic year. Again, we're trying to make sure that we have a strong foundation for the students and meet with them at least once per week, 1 to 2 hours. And that week could be a week where you're meeting with your faculty, mentor, as well as the high school student. Okay, so we all have the required compliance in terms of working on Penn State campus. And we require that all faculty and undergraduate mentors are required by Penn State to complete compliances before working with minors. And that means, and I know some of you have already completed that, the FBI clearance, criminal background, there's a Pennsylvania child abuse clearance, as well as a Pennsylvania state criminal background check. And finally, there is an online component of building a safe Penn State environment, reporting child abuse that Penn State requires that we do. And so I know some of you have already filled out those, but if you need help with completing those and filling those out, we are here to help you fill those applications out and get those submitted as soon as possible. Oops, oopsies, oops. Let me see here. The other thing in terms of compliance, we recommend that we use universal precautions when we're working with the students. And this way, when we're using these universal precautions, it makes it makes it safe, keeps everyone safe, not just the students, but we're concerned about your safety. We're concerned about faculty. So we want to keep everybody safe. And we're requiring that we have 2 adults be present when you have any contact with the minors, whether that is in person, online, over the phone, or via email. So in other words, if you email a student, you can either CC the faculty mentor or CC myself or Dr. Ryad, someone where you can have a second party within that that conversation. If you're having like a phone conversation, again, the requirements, or text, it would be the same type of requirements, just to have another person within that conversation. Make sure that when the parents are coming to pick up, parents or guardians are coming to pick up the students, make sure that you get the contact information just in case of emergency. And that will happen when you actually meet with the students, that first meeting when you guys are writing out your contract and your expectations and goals for the year. Just make sure that you have the contact information for the family just in case there's an emergency. Another thing is making sure that who is designated to pick up the minor, that's the actual person that's picking them up. And again, these are teenagers, these are high school students. They're very aware of those things, but just to make sure that you're cognitive of, making sure who they're going with. A lot of times the parents will just write a release for the students to be, be able to go home on their own. Some of them have driver's license, but just to make sure that you know that whatever that pickup is and whatever that person is, that they're signed in and out, and you know who or how that person was released. And if you have, something happens in the lab or there's any other injuries or something, just we'll provide you with incident reports. We ask that you fill out those incident reports. And additional trainings as well as the compliance training is forthcoming. Does anyone have any questions about anything that I've stated so far? Is there any hands up? Or just jump in if you want to ask anything? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. We'll have another opportunity to ask questions at the end as well. Okay, so this is an idea of our academic year plan and timeline. So September 23rd is our application deadline for all 2022 applicants. September 30th is a lightning talk. And the lightning talk is an opportunity for the faculty mentors to present their research, and they'll talk about it, and then you will choose the research topic that you're interested in. And then the high school students will also get an opportunity to choose the research topics that they're interested in. And based on those choosing and based on a good fit, you'll be matched with the mentee as well as the faculty mentor. So that September 30th is an important date for you to be there so you can find out more about the various research projects available this year. October the 9th will be that date of the mentor-mentee matched, and that's when you'll be assigned your mentor. We also have like a little mixer that's coming up, and that'll be before the match. And you'll have an opportunity to just kind of socialize and get to know the different mentees and try to build a bond with not just the one that you'll be assigned with, but the other mentees as well. January 22nd would be the research project title deadline, and that's when you'll choose the name of the actual project that the high school student will be presenting. And then April the 7th would be the research project is due. And some of these dates are a little spongy because of, things happen, So we understand that things happen. So there is a little bit of flexibility in there, but this is kind of like some of the dates that we want to see. So that would be the research project would be due April the 7th. And then May 8th would be the Penn State chapter symposium. And I know some students will be graduating, some students will be gone. In terms of the undergraduate students, we understand that things happen, but just make sure, you can just make sure that your mentee is prepared to present for the symposium. And I think we also have within those dates, a date of recognition before finals. So if you can come out for that, that will be great. We also have several trips planned for the students this year, and that's optional. Certainly, we understand that you have a busy schedule, but it'd be optional for you to join them on 1 or 2 trips if you have the time available. May 13th is our EnvironMentors National Science Fair in DC. That is a date that typically the students, after they do the symposium, they do their final competition for a chance to win a scholarship in DC. And so that would be the week of May 13th. Again, that time is, we're still working out details in terms of working with GCSE about that. Any questions about the schedule? Okay. And Dr. Raya is going to tell us a little bit about some of the previous research studies that have been done.
Okay, guys. So you can see there are some projects that we did earlier. For the first one, you see that simulation of a suborbital rocket pre-flight pumping system using a Raspberry Pi. One of our alumni, Ty Todd, he is from State High School. He was there on the team, and then Joel Paras, Raja Guru, and Dr. James Todd. All together, they did that project. Ty Todd got accepted in MIT and just finished his first year. So they successfully presented this research in the DC National Fair, right, Lorraine? Yeah. So
yeah.
And then the next one you see is it's called Volcanic Systems in Iceland. Another of our student, Alison, me, and Dr. Tanya Farman did that projects. The other one, Hurricane Observations and the Aftermath. Jonathan, Alicia, and Dr. Yunzi Zhang and Dr. Jing Sao Chen all together they did the projects. So even though we mentioned earlier that our model is going to be triad, where there is going to be a faculty professor with undergrad or grad student and high school students. In some cases, we might have like one faculty with 2 undergrad, 2 high school, or sometimes 2 faculty working together as a group. So in some research projects, you will also see that. The next one you see that is called assistive devices for Huntington diseases. Chidara Puta, one of our alumni, Rishi Patel and Dr. Richard did this project. So even though there's a question that people ask me about these EnvironMentors, is it everything related to environmental science? So actually we do projects that involve math, physics, computer science, medical science, and everything, because eventually at the end of the day, everything impacts the environment. So we're kind of like doing research from various fields. Next slide, please, Lorraine. Thank you. You can see that we did another project called photovoltaic energy conversion system. Gary Zhang was one of our students, and Tabin Asif and Dr. Khazezi did that projects. Another one you see WEF, which is Water, Energy, and Food Nexus Discovery Dashboard Database, was done by Lily Ambel, Monica Vasquez, and Dr. Rachel Brennan. And then we did another project called CR pollution, analyzing data from cost-effective sensors. So regarding this, we actually going to give you guys custom-made sensors. It's called Parpolier sensors. Maybe some of you guys already aware of that sensor. We are creating actually a network of sensors. So when you become an EnvironMentors, we will give each and everyone a sensor that you can take home or like take to your dorm or wherever you live. So and then Dr. Jose Fontus did a projects. Okay, yeah. Effects of ozone on sense bees need to look at flowers. So these are kind of like projects that we're gonna do. So out of many, these are some examples so that you have an idea what kind of projects we do. Yeah. Next slide. Perfect. Lorraine, you want to talk about this kid, this awesome?
Sure. So
people?
this is some of the alumni from EnvironMentors 2021. They were an awesome group, and I want to make sure that it's clear that we have some of the most talented and brightest students in our program. And so these students have went on to, two of them have went on to Penn State, different programs in terms of STEM fields. One has went on to MIT, another one has went on to Yale, and another one on to Cornell. So we have some of the brightest students that are looking to just to have the opportunities to be able to be involved in research. So yeah. And just want to open it up for any questions that anybody has. And does anyone have any questions?
Do you please recognize this too? What their achievement, please? Yeah.
How could I not
Thank you.
recognize that? So in 2019, we did the competition and we won first place for Penn State EnvironMentors, the Penn State chapter of EnvironMentors. And so we still hold that title of first place. And they both won college scholarships and the title for Penn State. Yeah.
So we actually competed against other 9 universities. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Any questions?
So guys, I think now we're open for question answers session. Like if you have questions, if you want to know anything regarding the program, the progression of the program, any other clarification you need, please ask. You feel free to ask us. We're here to answer your questions.
I have a question. So for the research projects, I know you said that the faculty members are going to present them and then we're supposed to choose. When it comes to choosing, is it like a first come, first serve type of thing? Or is it like you're matched, or like how does that work?
So we look at several different things. One is the good fit. Two is you have first, second, third choice. And so you typically people get their first or second choice, but sometimes it goes to third choice. And so that in terms of a good fit. So those things that are some of the things that we look at. So you won't just be placed with anybody. It will be people that you actually put on your list to match. That's typically how we try to do it. So, and does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. Okay, I was
You're
just
welcome.
curious.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I had 2 questions. Thanks for that information session, Lorraine. My first question is, so what is the difference exactly between GeoPath and the EnvironMentors program? Is it just that the topics are more earth science focused in GeoPath? Is that really just the primary distinction?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me clarify that, or Mitch, you can, and Dr. Kathy, you guys can jump in. So as so It's actually a grant that we received. So, some of our students are gonna get a stipend through the GeoPath NSF grant that we received. And then it's kind of like that you mentioned is gonna be more kind of out science focused research projects, and we're gonna select, say, 15 to 16 in a group to be part of GeoPath, who is going to be EnvironMentors GeoPath scholar. So, and
Okay.
then say other projects, we have NASA Build and Broaden, we have other grants. So we're gonna name separate, like say NASA EnvironMentors Scholar, and then NSF GeoPath EnvironMentors Scholar. So we're gonna have several group like that. And then we're gonna have the IEE, Institute of Energy and Environment Scholar, as well, as there are going to be certain students who are going to be funded through IEE. So we have several groups like that. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And I just had one other question, and that is, so regarding, so the students we're going to be mentoring, are they, I know you said these 3 regions earlier, like State College, Shenango, and Harrisburg. Is that primarily where students are in school districts in those regions that we'll be mentoring? And so in light of that, I guess this is probably something that you work out with your mentee and stuff like that, but do people tend to, like, mentors, since like people who are in State College, right? Do the mentors tend to all go to their areas on a certain day per week, or is it like you're meeting with your mentee whenever you guys schedule?
Yeah, so that would be something that you and your mentee would work out in terms of trying to find a time that works. One of the things that I also I failed to mention was that we also have like designated areas for you, because we have that 2 policy, and
Right.
there'll be designated places like the hub and places that'll be common areas for other mentees and mentors to meet. So we'll meet that 2 requirement. And so, but that would be based on your availability in terms of when you and your mentee and your faculty mentor can meet.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Any other questions, anyone?
Something I'd like to add along those lines is, so it's Dr. Schaefer from the Shenango campus, is that it is possible that we'll have a student who is in the area of the Shenango campus, for example, in Sharon, who's working remotely on a project with an undergrad or graduate student who is here today on their project. And so, whether it's the sensor array or some coding or mathematical modeling or something. So that's a model that we're looking at as well, so that we can have all students who want to be involved have that important connection to those mentors.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Schaefer, for mentioning that, because we want to make sure that the program that we're doing is equitable. And that means being able to meet people in different rural areas that may not have access to certain things. So we're making sure that everybody that wants to be a part of the program has that opportunity.
So any other question, anybody? Okay, I see a question here. If you have already submitted an application, is there anything else we need to do, Lorraine? That's a good question.
Yes, so there should be also, I'm not sure if you just filled out the application, or were you able to complete and submit all 3 of your clearance applications.
That's very
So
important.
in addition to our regular application, there is also clearances applications that you must submit to. So that's kind of like the minimum in terms of our requirements. And then from there, we'll start looking at all of the various applications. Once all of those 3 clearances have been submitted, we'll look at and start selecting people based on the fit for the program.
Tsunami, does that answer your question? If you need any other clarification, you can mention that as well. Yes, so guys, anyone wanna add anything else?
And if you need any help with the clearances, filling out those out, they can be challenging sometimes to kind of understand some of the logistics with it. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me or Dr. Rayed so we can walk you through that application process and help you get those clearances as soon as possible. Because we can't really start anything until we have those clearances uploaded. And you shouldn't have to pay for any of that. You should be qualified as a volunteer. And so those clearances should be free to you. But again, they could be a little complex. So if you need any help with us sitting down and walking you through that process, please don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Yeah. So I also want to add something like, so the ultimate goal of this program is to expand it throughout every campus of PSU. So we are working on that. So we are expecting that we will have EnvironMentors program in each and every Commonwealth campus soon. So, and we are very excited that you guys are going to be the part of that big launch, right, Lorraine?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it seems like we have already recruited a great bunch of students that are very eager to be a part of the program, and we are looking forward to working with you and having you to be a part of our team. And one other thing I didn't mention, but I do want to mention, having this research skills can be challenging to get on Penn State's campuses. And this is a great opportunity for you to build your portfolio in terms of that. And it look exceptionally well when you're going on to graduate school or even other things that you may do in life. So I implore you to be a part of the program. And we are not only here for the high school students, but we're here for you as well to make sure that this is a great experience for you as well. And you're getting a great opportunity as well. So thank you so much for coming. If there's anything that we can do to support you in your journey, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And we look forward to working with you in the
Okay. Lauren, I think got disconnected. Yeah. So I guess if there is no other question, we can wrap it up for today. Dr. Kathy and Mitch, if you want to say something before we go, that would be great.
I look forward to having students in our area involved, and also with the help of all of you on the call today, the matching up with some of them and you. So thank you so much for attending.
Thank you.
Reiterate the same fact. Thank you all for attending. Just the commitment that you're here today shows that you're very interested in this program and very good students. So again, I appreciate that, admire that, and looking forward to working with you.
Thank you, Amit. Yes, so guys, thank you so much for joining today. I will always be there. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. And we are excited to work with you. So have a great day. Thank you so much again. Bye-bye.